Hi. So I just got a chance to see Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie. So I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or not, but it was pretty good because of the self-disclosure. Like I am used to talking about entities and demons and how we're creating entities all over the place, how we get them and everything else. And that movie I watched is like it has all those messages. It starts with kids being in love and like thinking about like, hey, when we grow up we can get married and everything else. Amazing, hey, romance and stuff. But it changes when there's a car accident. I'm like, yeah, I know what it is like, I know what it feels like, yeah. So that's funny for me. But there's a person that loses a loved one, and by grieving, by not being able to let go, he sort of makes that person that died stay, but of course in the form of a demon or more like an entity. And a lot of times I talk about how hard it is for people to let go of the loved ones. It's, hey, we're attached to them. We're like, some people are attached to their loved ones. They don't want to let them go. They want to stay all those memories and things we have experienced, like it's huge for us. But that thing alone doesn't matter what kind of state the person that dying is in, where they're in coma, in a vegetative state. Just us saying, hey, we don't want to disconnect the whole thing that keeps them alive. We would like them to stick in a coma for 5, 10, 20 years. Doesn't matter how like you can handle it. But in a way, us not being able to let it go, we're keeping people attached to this place. A lot of times there are promises, and like there's a few sides to this. People that are alive not being able to deal with the loss, and by that we keep others attached to Earth in one way or the other. It's like a chain, and some people can't leave fully. Now, I don't mean that, like if you're gonna die and someone from your family will grieve, you cannot leave. But those that might not have that sense of freedom where you're like, okay, death, finally free, I can do whatever I want. Instead, they might have a certain belief system that will make them sort of reincarnate back on Earth because they think that Earth is the only place where life can happen, the only place where they can exist. And, like, why not? After this life, I'm going to be reborn in another body. There are certain belief systems that a lot of people follow, but it's not like liberating, it's not freeing. And it's okay for people to have it. Like, no one has to be like me, no one has to believe what I believe in. It's okay to have different beliefs. And, like certain people that are more, let's say, stuck to the materialistic world and the things that are happening in the families, by not having like freeing beliefs, it's very possible that they will want to come back. So by having someone they love wanting them back, by grieving, by having feelings like they can't live anymore without that person, a lot of people are feeling obliged to be here and help out the person one way or the other, where they communicate, where they soothe the loss and make it easier on them, where they work as spirit guides and other things. Like some people are attached to this world, not because they want to, but because they're sort of being held prisoners by the loved ones. That's one side of it. The other side of it is like those that die and are not ready to leave the world. Like the loved ones are like, yeah, they died, but now they're free. Good for them. Like, and they might feel sad, but they're gonna get over it, and that's fine. But the loved one is not done with life. They're not done. They believe that they might still want to live, or they believe that they haven't died. They feel as if they're alive, but hell, no one can hear them, no one responds to them, they're being fully ignored. And that alone is like, fuck, like it pisses them off, and they are like sticking to this world, trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with people around them, not themselves. And until something knocks sense into them, it can be seconds or years. There are cases where people are stuck next to their grave or their deathbed or something for 20, 30, 40 years at least, trying to figure out, why can't they just talk to me? Like I'm talking and no one listens. Damn. really the family is like such ignorant beings, like, so we have both cases of that. But at the same time, in this anime Jujutsu Kaisen, it to show that, like a lot of times people with all the issues they're carrying in their life and all the traumas and things that happen, the burdens and stuff, a lot of things that hurt us, all those emotions that we are keeping in, unable to express, or having no one to talk to, or we just haven't figured out an outlet for those emotions. When we keep it all inside, it gathers up, and that as well creates entities. But what happens when all those people that are hurt one way or the other gathers in massive places? For example, kindergartens, schools, hospitals, mall, like think of a place where a lot of people can go to on an everyday basis, just because, they have to work, they have to make money, they have to learn, they have to study, get something they need. So these places will hold a lot of people, and each and every one of us have our own story, and a lot of things happened. But those that are more hurt, those that are in pain, those that have suffered, when all those emotions gather in one place and the loosh is being gathered from us, well, at the same time, we can create entities by not noticing. A lot of those feelings, you keep on repeating some phrases, and maybe someone pisses you off, and you're like, God, I wish they would die. I wish they would suffer. And you just want to really hurt that person, or somehow, express that feeling, the hatred, the like anxiety you have, the frustration about the person. You might be jealous, you might feel guilty, or they might have done something to your life. They might have taken away something you had. A lot of things can happen. Other cases, hey, someone you love or someone you care about or someone you don't even know hurt you. They say something, and now that phrase is stuck in your head. You're a loser. You're good for nothing. They gaslight you and everything else. And certain things people tell us, that phrase sticks with us as a scar. You might not think about it, but there will be things that will remind you of it. And when we are in locations where more people have similar kind of suffering like you do or someone else, that builds up. And those clusters of entities start gathering up, and they can jump from people to people. Like, let's say you might work on yourself and clear your things and, work on releasing some traumas and finally be aware of why you feel the way you do. But then you go out, something happens, you're getting pissed off. And as you walk on the street, or as you're in your work or like school and stuff, you will meet people who have had something happen to them. And they too are feeling the anxiety, the frustration, the similar emotion to you. You're not talking. Everyone's trying to keep faces of, I'm fine. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Or, I'm just going to smile and be the friendly person. Hey, I know what a pain feels like, so I don't want anyone else to hurt. A lot of things go on. We have our own logics and ideals and the way we want to present ourselves to the world. But a lot of times keeping those emotions in, we hide it from people. We hide it from their eyes. But entities, they don't give a shit. They will feel you. So if you're feeling bad, wrong, guilty, if you're feeling anxious and angry, frustrated, raging, a lot of those things can happen. So entities, they will be born in clusters. The thoughts, the emotion, it builds them. And you don't have to direct it to someone else. But it's very easy to have matching emotions. And basically the plus and minus stick together. It's kind of the same way. They're like, oh wow, they just get amplified. They get something that will get the entity cluster to jump to the bigger one. And a lot of times it just takes one person to have a more, amplified feeling, amplified emotion that's more negative. And that's, let's just say, creates an entity that is a bit higher in the whole hierarchy. So everyone else, that's more like a thought form, like I hate you, I can't stand you, a lot of various phrases you can have about a person, or why did you leave me? I can't believe you cheated on me, anything, right? So those phrases, entities will just have a thought. Then they're going to jump to the entity that's a bit bigger than them, that not only has thought, but it can also direct it somewhere. It can also think this motherfucker is feeling this thing, and we're just going to be here and amplify it. So, all these entities jump and they make this huge cluster. And it's a thing. So this whole anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, it doesn't go into super detail about it, but it does show how we as people, by losing loved ones and not being able to let them go, we keep people attached, we create entities, we keep people prisoners. How those that are passing away are sticking to earth, how places, like contain a lot of people with traumas, and they just build massive entity clusters, and it's all over the place. And it is so easy to just, let's say one person is all into sexual stuff. It's like, like thinking about just getting laid and like doing stuff with people and all that. Like that's their thing. And the other person will feel like, man, I wish I had someone in my life. I really wish I had someone to please me, to hug me, to hold me, to tell me I'm beautiful, to do that stuff, And again, plus and minus, that works too. So they don't have to be matching in the negative, but you can also be craving for something. But when people are not specific, let's say, God, please help me. Spirit guides, answer my questions. We're not directing, we're not talking, we're not being specific. And these generalities are like open doors. We allow these beings to get into our space and mess with us. So by not being clear, it's like we are allowing other beings to, hey, well, I can give you love. I can take care of you. I can hug you. And some people will just want to have this sexual fantasy of like, hey, I don't have a partner, but, I've heard about incubus, succubus. That'd be fun to experience that and have fun at night and just get pleased, and that's going to be fine. Yay. And other people around you might carry that. They will have this never-ending lust, like, and addictions and things they want to do to people. And if entities and things they create will notice you and you're craving for something they can give, it's like you're making a deal without even knowing about it. It's like you have an open door and they're like, well, you need me, I'm here to help. And a lot of these entities think that they're helping you because you have this feeling and you can't express it. So they're jumping onto you, they're going to amplify it, they're going to make sure you talk about it or say something and do something with it. And boom, like all of a sudden people get succubus and incubus. You were craving for something. You might not have watched some weird videos on how to summon them, but yeah, it would be fun to have like someone to fool around with. And there it is. You had a little fantasy, thought of something, had a little dream, and no, it would feel good. You want this stuff. And boom, a lot of these entities will come to please you, but it's not in your best interest. You just had a thing for a moment, and that moment is enough to create this gap for all these beings to come and attack you. And so if you are aware of your emotions and how you feel, and you can have a body presence, as in like, be aware of your body. Like I had no idea how unaware of my body I was. Literally, I lived for years thinking that the bad stuff I was feeling was normal. That's how like people are supposed to feel. And it's like, that's okay. And like, I've talked about getting a Yumeho therapy and like, man, like, is that a different? Like, I can literally feel things inside me, like the whole, like, I don't know, like bloodstream. I can feel things traveling through me, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, but now it creates awareness. I can feel when, let's say, I'm busy and I'm like, I turn off my visuals and stuff, but then I feel someone getting attached, someone clinging to me, and you might get like, I have like some attachment on my neck. It's kind of heavy and stuff, and it's not necessarily you just feeling tired. It's not necessarily you've been overworking and getting stressed, and your like muscles are squeezing some nerves and everything else. Not just that. Of course, it will be a thing, maybe. But on top of that, you might have a being sitting on you, on top of you, holding on, getting all this weight on you and stuff. So just like a lot of varieties of how these beings can affect you, and, hey, give this Jujutsu Kaisen a try if you want to. Like I'm more of an anime fan. If you're not, that's fine. But like I just like, hey, I watched the show and saw some things that I can relate to, some self-disclosure, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how we can talk to these entities, get them out of our space, and like do stuff with them, direct them, talk to them, and everything else. It's pretty neat. So this anime has some of that stuff, and you might want to watch it, see for yourself, see what you get out of it. So that'll be my little take on this one. And hey, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.